Well,
So a couple years ago, it just came to me that I was kind of over the film, and I brought the idea to one of our staff, and then it was like, well, maybe we should do something more. Mike Leiniger here on staff also was like, instead of always changing out this film, we should try to do something more permanent and do the original film that we were going to have you guys do. And so kind of Mike gave the idea too, and it was just like, yeah, let's see what we can do with that. It was brought to Rev Mark, who loved the idea of doing something more intentional for the space instead of just this boxed film that we got from probably like Amazon. I don't know, because I wasn't involved in that process, but also making it something more that the congregation can be a part of too. And then I was like, well, Colleen is our amazing designer. And so I was like, Colleen's like the on speed dial for us. It's like, Colleen, come help. So I feel like,
yeah, that was. I mean, a lot of people probably don't know that I'm an interior designer, and when we did the addition to the church, I chaired the interior design committee for that, and so I call myself the de facto interior designer now, because if we need another furniture piece or something else, that I'm usually involved in that, which I'm thrilled to do, and this has been a fun project,
right.
Especially as we segued from the original concept of a little bit more permanent vinyl into glass. That really is just
came to life.
Yeah,
when it was
really
like
something. Yeah, I think we originally thought, back when the original drawings were done for the building, that always was planned to be stained glass. But I think the dollar figure at that point in time was somewhere around, in the neighborhood of $200,000, and it just, wasn't in the budget to do that as the building was being built, and I think nobody really wanted to tackle the fundraising for that.
So for a window that's the size of the window you've got, we've had people or churches that have spent $200,000 and $300,000 to do something that looks a little bit more like St. Patrick's Cathedral in New York City.
Right.
Have you ever seen the big figures of Jesus and things?
Right.
But stained glass doesn't have to be that elaborate and Gothic looking. It can still look beautiful if it's simple.
Yep.
And so that was the plan here, to try to bring something to life that was on this kind of simpler side,
Right.
But still was beautiful and had meaning to people with the different colors that are used.
Right.
Yeah, with the going with the liturgy and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Using liturgical colors like we have in the banner in there, to sort of bring it to life and make it worshipful, I guess, for lack of a better word, but still more contemporary, like our space is. That's bridging those two things together.
And it's a little bit like a rainbow as well, with the colors at the top. And it doesn't start off with red; it starts off with the yellow and then the orange, and then goes to the red and the greens and the blues and the purples and the violets.
Right.
And
getting more saturated as we go down, so that we can also take care of the issue that the vinyl is up there for right now, which is the light and the traffic bleeding through, in a way that doesn't work really well for the space as well as for our videotaping of things. So, yeah. How many colors of glass do we have in our project?
I believe there's about 25.
Okay. And is that a typical? I'm guessing on the smaller ones that you do with, like you said, more figurines and things like that it could climb a lot from that, or is 25 a...
I'd say that's about, that's a little bit more than average.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Go us.
Yeah.
Maybe
go big or go home, right?
Yeah, that's it.
And even after we started the manufacturing process, I noticed a couple of things with a couple of the colors that I didn't like. So when I called you, and we made changes even after we started. So it's nice to work with people who are flexible and trust you to do what's going to look good.
And that's the beauty of art too, is you can be flexible with it and change it. You aren't set in one thing and and so forth. And it's
what have been challenges on our project? Like, is a scale a challenge, or just the grid system a challenge, or not really?
The scale of the biggest pieces is definitely a challenge. They have to be made on a large bench, and it takes 2 or 3 people just to lift the weight of the glass, and we have to turn the window over as we make it.
And as
we have to work on one side and then the other side, and and cleaning them and polishing them. So that becomes challenging with the bigger pieces. And then the direction of the glass, I wanted the direction to be part of the design, and this piece will go that way, and then the next piece will go this way. And so that was a challenge to have all the glass flow throughout the whole project, and it also meant that we have used about 50% more glass than we thought we were going to use.
In order to get that pattern.
In order to get the right pattern. But it's worth it. It'll be worth it in the end.
And so when you're talking about direction, just for people who don't understand, we're talking about the fact that the glass has like a patterning that goes, a striation or something for each piece, and you're trying to vary that as it goes up through the glass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to make it more interesting rather than having everything go up and down the way. Because some of the pieces are directionally, they're angled one to the left or to the right. So we'd like the glass to follow that direction.
Nice.
And the soft edges too that kind of help. It just like flows like a
right. Yeah.
The design. So
yeah, it's going to be so beautiful.
Yeah.
We're so excited.
I know, like
so challenges in terms of installation are going to be
finding a scissor lift.
The challenges with the installation are we're not sure how much weight the stage can hold. We would love to bring a scissor lift in because that would be the easiest thing to do. But we may not be able to do that, so we may have to look for extra tall scaffold and then have to lift the panels up. The biggest one weighs about 100 pounds.
Wow, okay.
And so it's quite a weight. But the good thing is the window system was designed for stained glass. Wow. So there's an additional piece of metal trim that goes around each opening that just has to be unscrewed, and then the stained glass goes in and you screw it back on again.
Oh,
so
nice.
That part is
just the easy part.
Is a blessing for us.
One little easy button.
I know, but just like picturing taking a 100-pound piece of beautiful artwork and holding that on scaffolding. That's Mike's stress, right?
That's Mike's job, and there's a reason why I'm going to Scotland during the install, and I'll come back when it's all done.
When it's all done. I'm like, that would be so nerve-wracking to do. And
Yeah, I can't imagine.
But that's how it seals it up and makes it stay together with the lead, because we were talking about how
so
you
the
start with what
process
corner.
is we start in one corner with the lead, and then we put the first piece of glass in, and the glass goes into a channel in the lead, so it goes in behind the lead. So part of the glass you don't see when you look at it front on because it's in behind. And the lead is like a capital letter H, if you think about it. So there's glass slotting in from each end to it. And then the next piece of lead is put in, and then you kind of build from one side to the other, and then we use a molten metal on the joints to seal the joints together. So those are soldered together, and then, as you mentioned, the mudding is a black, very kind of gooey kind of mud that goes into that little gap between the lead and the glass on every single piece, and it's a black mud. So that's put on, and then it's buffed down and polished into the cracks. And then just after we clean it off, we use what we call a pizzazz brush. It's a circular brush on a drill type system that will take some of the oils out of the mud, and it coats them onto the lead. So the lead goes from being a silver color to being a black color. Wow. And then when we leave that to set for a week or so, then everything solidifies, and the lead is a beautiful kind of a dark gray black color, and that accents the colors of the stained glass.
Nice. How long will it take to create our window? I mean, all the panels together, the actual manufacturing of it, how long will it?
We have we've been working on it for 3 weeks,
Okay.
I think, and I think we've got another 3 weeks to go, or
What's
we'll
today's
be
date?
finishing the day
So
before the install.
Can you guesstimate the man hours then? Or
Right.
Like, is it one person each week, or is it several people coming in and out?
There's several people. There's several people working on it, because we have Martina, our CAD guy, working on it. I'm still working on it. Sheila, and then we have, I think there's probably 4 people working on it most of the time.
Wow. It's crazy.
It's a fun process.
Yeah.
And with our window, we're doing it to honor Reverend Dr. Harvey, Martz, and Judy, who were pivotal in St. Andrew's history dating back to the early 90s. And this is a wonderful way to honor his legacy. And they've been involved with it since we let them know that this is, Rev Mark really wanted to honor them in a special way. And so doing bold things, and just Harvey and Judy throughout the years and so forth. And I mean, you've
Harvey and Judy were, specifically Harvey was the person that was the driving force between relocating the church from north on University down to this campus, and then all the fundraising for both the initial building and then the second phase of the building. And so that's why it's just like imperative, I think, to have something permanent that stays with the building that can honor their contribution to just the fact that we're here.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Pretty amazing.
Yep.
We just want to thank everybody that contributed to this incredible project and this legacy in the church. And can't thank Harvey and Judy enough for their contributions to the building. And we're thrilled to be able to honor you through this beautiful, beautiful gift.